Yeah, after some thought, yeah, lack of the deliberation, obviously, I applied in solidarity. I eventually applied, um, but I did so knowing why it's, why it started, right? Why it started, what instigated it, how it was driven, how it changed course, and where it ended up. Right, so a lot of the smoke screens I can see through because you know there's been a lot of the whole they Vision 2030, they and there have been the dictums that speak of our Vision 2030 and how we should work to achieve Vision 2030. And this is from someone who has thoroughly reviewed this mandate. And there is the Bill and Melinda Gates there, which also states that in 15 years, which will be Vision 2030, most of the world won't be as poor as they were. Right? So this was also done after a lot of deliberation and review, and it wasn't done by amateurs. So I mean, the rationale is bullshit. It's all about the sore loser and some tribal pride, and having thousands upon thousands of people that you don't want to disappoint. Right? That's a heavy burden to carry. So I sympathized with that. But then there's going too far. Right? I mean, we all want to prove ourselves, but it shouldn't have to be at the expense of others. Right? So there should be focus on progressive movements and a derailing from non-progressive movements. And this means everyone, as individuals, should consider themselves accountable for their decision. Everyone. Because the whole concept, the whole nature of followers is that the leader will take all of the bad and share all of the good. Some followers, some dedicated followers, will go through believing there will definitely be good. Right? But if so, there has to be proper planning. And this can be done. It can be done, but it would mean national participation. It would mean outgrowing childish utterances like youth and so forth. Because if you want to represent national interest, then you represent the children, the babies, as well as the elderly. Right? The youth can be a driving force, but they cannot be the center, the focal point. As soon as the youth is the focal point, it starts to lose direction, because there's a lot of energy. There's a lot of wanting to go here and doing that, and there is a lack of taking advice, and not instruction, but advice from experienced individuals. And these individuals are the elderly in our communities. I don't understand certain languages, and this is just but there is wisdom there, right? Even if it isn't necessarily intellectual wisdom, there's wisdom there, and letting that go to waste is stupid, right? So if a nation is going to participate in nation building, then everyone has to count. And this leads me to the questions of administrations, whether they are being sabotaged, whether there are plots here and there, whatever. Here's the thing, right? I know my candidate, and I supported my candidate. It was known, right? I didn't hide it. It was known. Now, when most people think of legacies, they think of leaving, all the goodies. This has gone up, and this has gone, all the good things, like employment is down, and all of that good stuff. No, a real legacy points to what needs to be tuned, what needs to be fixed. When you have exposed, right, when you have exposed the things that are wrong, you have actually done the coming administration a favor, because all they have to do is fix it. Yes, it will be a lot of work, but they would have the authority, the command, and the money to enforce their will. And the will of the people has gone up to an extent that it actually carries merit. So look at the top and look at the bottom. You push the bottom as far as you can up until it's noticeable by the top. When the top looks down, there's one accomplishment. Right? Because now accountability has never been this high this highly prioritized in this country. Never. So yeah, I'm part of the team that supports the Vision 2030, because it's all inclusive. Not everything will be accomplished in Vision 2030. The point is accomplishing things that will add to that year, and you can say we did this in 2016, we did this in 2017, we did this in, it doesn't mean that there is a standstill. No, we did this in 2015 and so forth. But at the end you have set up a deadline. If you don't have a deadline, then there isn't that rush, that need to finish, that need to get there. So what's missing is that sense of determination. Everybody should start now. Today is the day that we start. Today and every other day. Right? So, as much as folks who like to look at the small picture, one always has to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture looks pretty good. Yeah.